Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody is having a nice day out there, that it is half as beautiful in your world as it is here. We're just having some gorgeous days, not a cloud in the sky, no humidity, and things are just good. Today I got a good one to share with you. I got a little reading. I want to talk a little bit about learning how to respond rather than reacting. It is something that has helped me immensely over the years. I've gotten better and better as it goes, and now it's just like it keeps me out of trouble, keeps me from putting my foot in my mouth. And it basically, what it does, and I'll talk about this a little bit more as I get into it, it just slows things down. Like you just have to be really, really careful with that, like reacting immediately after something happens, because so many times when you react in haste, you're kicking yourself later going, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that. And we'll talk about this too, but also too, I'm not telling you don't do it, don't do that action that you're reacting in the moment. At least just think about it. And I got a little reading today from, I forget where this was from. I think zenhabits.net, written by Leo Babalta. I'll put it in the description down below, a link to it. Much of our lives is spent in reaction to others and to events around us. The problem is that these reactions might not always be the best course of action. And as a result, they can make others unhappy, make things work for us, and even make the situation worse. And why would we want to make things worse? The truth is, we often react without thinking. It's a gut reaction, often based on fear and insecurities, and it's not the most rational or appropriate way to act. Responding, on the other hand, is taking the situation in and deciding the best course of action based on values such as reason, compassion, cooperation, etc. Let's take a quick example. React. Your child when you react, your child breaks something. You immediately react by getting angry, perhaps yelling, upsetting the child and yourself, worsening your relationship, not making anything better. When you respond, your child breaks something. You notice your anger reaction, but pause, take a breath, and consider the action. First response is to see if your child is okay. Is she hurt, scared? Second, realize that the object that is broken in the larger view is not that important. Let it go. Adjust to a world without it. Third, help her clean it up, make a game of it, show her that mistakes happen and that it's not something to dwell on. Fourth, calmly talk about how to avoid mistakes like that in the future and give her a hug. Now, the kid thing, I don't have kids, so that doesn't really resonate all that much, but it makes sense. The choice presents itself to us all the time, whether it's our mother nagging us, our coworker being rude, our husband not being kind enough, and so on. There will always be external events that bother us, but if we learn to respond and not just react, we can make things better and not worse. Learn how to respond. The main thing to learn is mindfulness and the pause. Always comes back to that mindfulness. Just things pop up into my networks here and there, like just in front of my eyes, about mindfulness all the time. Mindfulness means watching ourselves when something happens that might normally upset us or trigger some kind of emotional reaction. Pay close attention to how our minds react, then pause. We don't have to act immediately just because we have an internal reaction. We can pause, not act, breathe. That breathing is a good one. We can watch this urge to act irrationally arise, then let it go away. Sometimes that takes a few seconds. Other times it means we should remove ourselves politely from the situation and let ourselves cool down before we respond. Pause. Watch the reaction go away. Now consider what the most intelligent, compassionate response might be. What can we do that will help our relationship teach, build a better team or partnership, make the situation better, calm everyone down, including ourselves? At first you might mess up, but in time you'll learn to watch this reaction and you'll get better at the pause. Don't fret if you mess up. Just resolve to be more mindful when it happens next time. Take note of what happened to trigger your reaction and pay attention when something like that happens again. Be mindful pause, then consider a thoughtful, compassionate response. And it's as simple as that. And this pops up in my life, in real life. It pops up online. And, you know, in the past I tell you, I started learning a long time ago, even before I changed my lifestyle, even back when I was crazy, that especially like with emails, I would answer a lot of emails at a job I had. And I realized that sometimes when you got mad, that was not the best time to respond. And here's the thing. I'm not telling you to be, you know, all of a sudden this calm person. I'm not telling you. What I'm saying is you can always act later. If you will take that pause, if you're struggling with something, if you're about to say something to somebody, breathe a little bit, think about it a little bit. And a lot of times you're going to back off, you're not going to say anything, and you're going to think like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't just respond right off the bat. Right? If you're in person, I'm glad I didn't say the first thing that I was thinking there, because that would have just made the situation worse. And it's not necessarily being a nice person or being good to the other person. A lot of times it just saves you a lot of aggravation. I don't know if I've ever mentioned, or maybe you don't pick it up here, but I have a little snarkiness to me. I can be a bit sarcastic at some time. And that's something I've had to work on, and just really realize like, hey, this doesn't necessarily need to be said. Even though you're technically right, this doesn't need to be said, because even though you're saying it, I'm saying something to somebody, and in that moment, just for that split second, I feel a little bit better. It probably works to my disadvantage down the line. Like take for instance my car. I've got my car in the shop getting some work done today. I had gone by this shop because it's a little shop out in the country. I like to pick shops that look a little bit more honest, but I had gone by there 3 times, 4 times, and nobody was in the office. Well, my little snarky self, when I finally made a phone call, I was going to be like, I wasn't going to be rude, but I was going to be like, hey, you never answer your phone. Why don't you do this? I almost didn't go. I almost went with somebody else. I almost did this. And then I'm thinking, I stopped. I said, that's just extra words. It kind of, to jump to another idea here, it's like when you're writing something and you go back and edit what you're writing and make it more concise. That wasn't going to add anything to it. All that might have done to the garage where I had that car, was that him say, well, that's a smart ass there, or that son of a bitch, I'll show him, or maybe he doesn't give me as good of a price, or whatever. But there's little things like that all the time, and most every single time that I have said, well, let's just wait, or I've stopped and I've thought about it, 9 times out of 10, I never say anything. And I'm very happy, and I'm actually thanking my lucky stars that I didn't say anything. So reacting and responding, I guess reaction is just that gut, in the moment situation. And responding is just giving a little thought to it, give it a pause. So many things in life can be, you can avoid like so many bad situations in life just by stopping. Like I say, whether it's mindfulness, whether it's meditation, everything just kind of works with our life. Anytime you're having something, anytime you want to say something, you're mad, just stop, take a breath. A mindful breath will change so many things. A mindful breath, or 2 or 3 or however many times you have, but only one if that's all you've got, will change you incredibly. It'll change just the whole way you look at things. It'll diffuse the situation. A lot of times it's just the same maneuver, when you're boiling something and it's about to overboil, and you just let a little pressure off by pulling the top up. That's all it is right there. So just think about that. You might want to go. That was real short reading, but I don't know. I was reading it last night. I thought it just worked well for me, and I thought I would share it with you. So hope you enjoyed. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. I don't really have a particular day I do videos now, but I will see you again, God willing. Peace.